By 30, you should own a home. By 35, you should have savings. By 40, retirement should be on track. Not economists, not scientists. An insurance company in 1893. And they designed it so you'd always feel behind. Here's the proof. In 1893, a man named Louis Brandeis wrote a report. It was for mutual life insurance. The goal was simple: make people feel financially inadequate, then sell them a policy. The report created life stage benchmarks. Own a house by this age, retire by this age, have this much saved by this age. It wasn't science. It was sales psychology, dressed up as life advice. And here's what's wild. We still use those same benchmarks 130 years later. The economy has changed 6 times over. The benchmarks haven't moved an inch. Ask yourself one question. Who benefits when you feel behind? Not you. Let's talk real numbers, not feelings. Numbers. The median U.S. household income in 1970, about $54,000 adjusted for inflation. The median home price in 1970, $172,000 adjusted for inflation. A home cost roughly 3x your annual income. That's the ratio the timeline was built on. Now, look at today. Median household income, $74,580. Median home price, $420,000. That's 5.6x your income, not 3x, 5.6. The timeline was assumed 3x. The market delivered 5.6. But the deadline stayed the same. Own a home by 30 was written for a 3x world. You're living in a 5.6x world. You didn't fall behind. The math changed without telling you. And nobody updated the rulebook. Now let's talk about wages, because this is where it gets darker. From 1948 to 1973, worker productivity went up 97%. Wages went up 95%. Workers built value, workers got paid. That's how it's supposed to work. Then something happened in 1973. Productivity kept climbing. Wages flatlined. From 1973 to today, productivity rose another 74%. Wages up only 12%. You are working harder than any generation before and keeping less of what you make. In 1970, a single income supported a family of 4, bought a house, funded a retirement, sent kids to college. Today, 2 incomes barely cover rent, and the timeline still says you should own a home. You're not lazy. You're running a race where the finish line keeps moving. They told you something in high school. Get a degree, get a good job, build wealth. In 1980, 4 years of public university cost $10,231 total, inflation adjusted. Today, the average is $104,000. That's a 916% increase. Median wages over the same period, up about 46%. The advice was right for 1980. For 2024, it's a debt trap with a diploma attached. 45 million Americans carry student debt. Average balance, $37,787. That's before interest. The timeline says build wealth in your 20s, but your 20s are spent paying for the advice they gave you in high school. And here's the cruelest part. The people who gave you that advice, they went to school when it cost $10,000. They never felt the chain. Let's talk about retirement, because the timeline's biggest lie lives here. Retire at 65. Where does that number come from? Germany. 1881. Otto von Bismarck set the retirement age at 65. Average life expectancy in Germany in 1881? 45 years old. The retirement age was set above the life expectancy. It was designed so most people would never reach it. Today, life expectancy is 78. The retirement age barely moved. Now you're supposed to fund 13 extra years. In Social Security, created in 1935, at that time, 16 workers funded every one retiree. Today, 2.7 workers per retiree. The math is collapsing in real time, and the timeline still says you're fine, just save more. The system was never designed to take you there. It was designed to make you aim there while something else took your money along the way. Every milestone on the standard timeline has a seller behind it. Buy a house, mortgage industry, profits $100 billion per year. Get a degree, student loan industry, $1.7 trillion in outstanding debt. Save for retirement, financial management industry takes 1 to 2% annually on everything. 1% doesn't sound like much. Let's do the math. You save $300 per month for 40 years, 7% average market return. End balance, $798,000. Now subtract 1.5% annual management fees. New balance, $568,000. The fee cost you $230,000 for clicking a few buttons. The maze wasn't built to trap you randomly. Every wall was placed by an industry that profits from your confusion. And the timeline, the one that makes you feel behind, keeps you running. Too fast to look up, too stressed to question it. Here's what they never told you. The people who actually built wealth, they didn't follow the timeline. They questioned it. Warren Buffett didn't buy his first stock at the right age. He bought it at 11, then held for decades. Jeff Bezos started Amazon at 30. Most people said he was too old to start over. Sarah Blakely started Spanx at 29 with $5,000, became a billionaire at 41. The timeline says 41 is too late. Sarah Blakely says it was right on time. Here's the truth no financial documentary will say. There is no on track. There is only your track. The fear of being behind, that fear is the product. When you're scared, you make bad decisions. You buy things you don't need. You pay fees you don't question. You stay in jobs that drain you because it's not the right time to leave. The timeline needs you afraid. So let me leave you with this. You were handed a map drawn by people who profit from your panic. You're not behind. You never were. You were just running someone else's race. If this bothered you, good. It should. Subscribe, because next week, we are going to talk about why your bank is legally allowed to gamble with your money and what they don't want you to do when you find out.